live. Hey, Buzz, babies. Oh, it's not Wednesday. Almost said happy Wednesday, happy new comic book day, but it's Tuesday because this is different. This is Blake's Buzz Live, but on a different, it's a Tuesday. Hi, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Blake's Buzz Live. We're doing a different kind of show tonight. It's going to be fun. Well, I used to do these all the time. We're doing a little launch party action. So instead of doing it tomorrow, we're doing it tonight. They call that rescheduling in the comic industry. That was a bad joke. Sorry. All right. So I'm going to do a couple quick ad reads real quick. And then we're going to bring these guests out and we're going to talk real cool sci-fi comics and, where these, all these guys have been on the show before and you know them and they're all really talented and awesome, but we're going to talk to them again. It's going to be fun. All right. Tonight's show is sponsored by Michael Gecko Adams, who has a new series, Hero, out from Keenspot, to keep up with what he's got going on. And trust me, you want to keep up with what he's going on. You want to keep up with what he's got going on. Head over to geckoadams.com and tell your shops to put Hero on your pull list. Issue 2 drops in November. You can still pre-order it. You can still get issue number 1 as well. You can tell your shops to get those, or you can go to the Keenspot shop and order them. There's links in the description that will let you know where to do just that. Before we kick things off tonight, I got to shout out Ruination, a brutal character-driven fantasy epic full of political intrigue, betrayal, jaw-dropping art. If you love morally gray heroes, worlds on the brink of collapse, and the kind of storytelling that keeps you flipping pages at 3 a.m., Ruination is the book for you. The new campaign is live on Kickstarter right now. Don't miss your chance to grab it. And finally, speaking of epic comics, they don't get more wild. One day I'll learn how to read my own notes. Speaking of epic comics, they don't get more wild than Crossover Division, where fiction bleeds into reality and our heroes are forced to battle literary legends come to life. This time, they pissed off Cthulhu. Yeah, Cthulhu, tentacles and all. If you're ready for cosmic horror, clever storytelling, and a series that keeps raising the bar, get over to Kickstarter and back Crossover Division before the old gods swallow us all. Goodness, that's scary. I don't know if anybody's been watching my social medias today, but we launched Comics the Magazine today at work, which is pretty fucking exciting. Oops, we're not monetized, so it doesn't matter. I said the F word. It'd be real cool if everybody went and followed all these pages that I worked real hard setting up so that my boss sees it, knows I'm doing a real good job. How about that? Chip Zdarsky is ending ZCN in a few months. We are rebranding it and taking it over. It is going to be called Comics the Magazine. If you are at NYCC, Retailer Day is tomorrow. We are giving away 0 issue. It's really cool. It's beautiful. Everybody did a really great job on it. Everybody's working real hard on it. It's a cool thing. It's something fun we're trying to do. So check that out. Follow all those socials. I'll just remind you real quick. Follow all those socials. Scan that QR code. Sign up for our newsletter. It'd be great. All right. Let's start the fucking show. Okay. I've got 3 real cool fucking dudes sitting in the green room. I'm just going to say the F word all the time. I open the floodgates. It's like peeing when you're drunk. It's coming out. All right. These 3 amazing people have an amazing book. It's in its 3rd issue, and the 2 I've read have been awesome. One of my favorite things ever is Event Horizon, and they're saying this is the Event Horizon of comics, even though there's an Event Horizon series out now. That's pretty special, man. Let's get them out here. I got shit. I don't know where my buttons are. I got Phil Appley, David Hazan, Christof Bogacs. Oh my mother buzzing god, y'all. We're to talk comics, baby. Ran out of breath. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey, I'm so impressed by your energy, Blake. If I had like a quarter of that energy, my life would be completely different.
Well, yeah. If I could keep this energy up all day, I think my life would be different. I had some work friends on the to talk about some work stuff. Was it last week? And my boss was like, "Where's this Blake in meetings?" I was like, "What do you want me to yell at people?" Anyway. All of you, hello, welcome back to the show. Very, very exciting times. I believe you just quite literally launched a new Kickstarter for Requiem. Requiem. Y'all walk the Kickstarter for Requiem today.
Oh God!
Oh,
Not the
no.
eroticism. Release Waterwick. There's a certain generation of people who are laughing hysterically, and the rest of them are just like scratching their head confused. I thought the Monty Python would have caught you, Christof.
No, I missed. We've.
I wasn't paying
Is that because
attention.
of the Adventism or because it just missed you?
Talked about this on podcast before that I kind of missed like a large chunk of pop culture. I mean, VeggieTales is kind of my Monty Python.
That's
like,
the most depressing statement I've ever heard in my life, Christof. That's I think a large portion of the world populace just died inside hearing that. I thought VeggieTales was that was like younger than me. But I thought that was like religious. Wasn't that like programming? Like
no. So I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, so I watched a lot of religious programming, and VeggieTales was big. VeggieTales was like, as a kid, it was like the thing. If you were like a Christian kid that was like starved for media, anything remotely kind of decent-ish was like, this is incredible.
What was all right? Let's talk weird. Like I was a Ninja Turtle kid, and a X-Men, like 90s X-Men. I used to have the Pizza Hut X-Men VHS in my backpack, like at all times, just in case like I ever came across a VCR that I could like pop it in and watch 45 minutes of X-Men cartoons. So like that was like my jam. Gargoyles too. I was pretty into Gargoyles. Phil, what about you? What were you chomping on when you were a kid?
X-Men, animated X-Men, Power Rangers, up to a point, I think. Did you ever get Sharky and George? I have this in my head, this TV show called Sharky and George, and I got the theme tune still running in my head like 30 years later. The Crime Busters of the Sea. I don't think it would hold up. I'm always too scared to go on YouTube and check it out. But yeah, I seem to recall watching a lot of that as a kid. Maybe it was just like 3 episodes and I just watched them on a loop like a madman or mad child.
Okay, I've just looked it up. Wild.
Oh, it was a thing then. I'm not losing my mind.
Yeah.
It was not a fever dream. Oh, that's
right.
What we really need to do, I think, is sit Phil and Blake down and do a watch party of Round the Twist.
What are you talking about? Like I've never seen Round the Twist before.
I have not seen Round the Twist before.
This is going to take me down a weird rabbit hole quickly, but on the Sharky and George thing, it's by a French animation studio. And I remember, I don't know what it was like growing up in the UK, Phil, but I know here we got a bunch of like, Australia's kind of in a weird cultural position, I guess, where we get a lot of American stuff, but we also get like a lot of Canadian stuff. There were a lot of like joint Canadian-Australian productions. We got a lot of French animation. So, I mean, like, so I remember that there was a show I used to love called Albert the Fifth Musketeer, which was like French animation.
Yeah, we got that.
I feel like no one else has ever heard of. So it's kind of weird how, when you're not in the US, you kind of get exposed to these like very specific, weird like French cartoons.
Huh. What about you, David? What were you watching when you were a kid?
I don't know. I remember being a Thomas the Tank Engine kid, and then I remember being a Star Wars kid. There's a bit of a gap in between those two where I'm not sure what happened. But
I have a couple gaps like that, but I was a bit older, and it was called substance abuse. That's not funny. Why are we laughing? No, as a joke. I remember most of the stuff. That's it's fun. I just because it's Amazon Prime Day, right? So like, let's all spend money we don't have on stupid shit. I bought the box set of Sailor Moon manga because it was $38. But I remember I watched a few of those like Cartoon Network as like after school, like sometimes I was watching stuff like waiting to get the Gundam Wing, right? But it's like I remember like being like some cool animation, some cool fights, and it is as iconic as like Akira and Dragon Ball. So like it's got to have like some merit and great storytelling to it. So I'm kind of excited to explore that. Granted, like I don't ever get to read anything anymore because what they don't tell you when you get a job in comics, you don't get to read many comics anymore. Making them's a lot of work, which I'm sure these gentlemen will tell us about. Real quick,
your brain does the terrible thing when you're actually like reading comics for like pleasure, is your brain does the scumbag thing where it starts like over analyzing. It's like, oh, they did that. That's interesting use of that. Oh, I wonder, yeah, like you just start like, and it sucks. It sucks. You just can't like. It's really hard. Some comics I can, like if I'm reading like stuff that's really like high concept and like, or like super weird, like Grant Morrison, or like when I read Dennis Camp, I can generally turn my brain off and actually just enjoy it as a fan. But it kind of sucks. It sucks that you just can't enjoy comics like you used to when you're working in them.
It's definitely a double-edged sword. Hey, it's all right. Press start to die. I'm not sure who you are, but I like your icon, and it seems you have a cool gaming channel, and you know me from somewhere. So everybody go follow this channel. I don't know. It's someone from Facebook who left Facebook when Facebook started getting nasty politically. So I feel like these are good vibes. Like it's not a bad person to go follow. This is weird. Why am I? Let's just keep talking. Let's talk myself into a bigger. Hey, Ronan.
I get it. Like, I mean, I think like Dave and Phil, I think we've all probably experienced this to some extent, right? When you start to have a body of work that's bigger than you start to get to the point where like people connect with that body of work and then kind of like either feel like they know you or you've met them before, but there's just like more people coming at you than you can like remember and properly process.
Oh yeah, like when you drop a big Dark Horse book, like
no, but just like all right, but like
a real big, like, awesome Dark Horse book, by the way.
Thank you, Phil. Phil's been my biggest fan of the DC short. Thank you, friend. But I forgot
you, like, you big DC.
I'm a bad host.
I'm a bad host. You're a big DC Comics guy now. Oh man, leveling up and still slumming it up on Blake's Buzz too.
Could someone tell my account that I'm a big DC writer? Because that would be quite nice. But yeah, it's kind of weird where you kind of get to a point where like there's more people coming at you than you can like socially sustain, and you have to like be selective, and it just sucks. That's enough. Because I want to like be friends with everyone and give time to everyone, and it sucks when you get to a point where you're like, oh, I just physically don't have enough time to be able to like do that.
Yeah, and also I was thinking when you were talking about how like it's harder to like solely enjoy comics, right? Because you still enjoy them, right? But you start thinking of like, oh, like yeah, I could try this in a story, or you get an idea. Like if it's real good, it inspires you, right? And then you want to like take that inspiration and do something. Because I doing more like design graphic tinkery bullshit now, right? Like so like when I go to Kickstarter pages, I'm always like, how can I make this better? Like what can I do with the next person that hires me? How do they get a page that looks better than this? And then I'm like. And I do that a lot with ads. I see like on like meta ads and stuff. Like instead of just scrolling past them now, I kind of stop and see where they're wanting me to look, where they're drawing the eye, what the text placement looks like. I'm starting to like nerd out on shit, like because I do that every day, right? Like I make social media graphics like nonstop for several clients. And anyway, but it's you think about stuff like a cool page in an infographic in a comic book, like a Jonathan Hickman graph in a sense, or even a good ad in a comic book or something. Like my mind wanders, and then all of a sudden you're fucking working when you don't mean to. And that's the devil when you're reading comics and then you accidentally start working when you don't have to. That's the worst part of.
I mean, it's the thing about like if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. But it's really when you do what you love, you work all the time.
You never stop.
Mostly for free.
Well, all right. So before we get to your comic and talk more about comics in this industry that drives all of us insane that none of us can seem to stand. No, I love it. I really do. But what people forget is it's a fun industry, but when you work it, it's a job. And like a lot of jobs are stressful. And anybody who has a deadline driven work, it's stressful, fast paced environments that never really let up. And comics is also weird too, because things move like astronomically slow until they don't. And then like you're waiting for like a year, and then they're like, what are you doing? Like the issue's out tomorrow. You didn't do any PR. And so it's just so weird, like the slow movement compared to like the quickness around a release. And anyway, what do you guys do? Like, as much as we love this stuff and as much as we love being attached to it, how do you detach from it? when you need to? Like, Christof, what do you do to escape?
Yeah, this is a good question. I mean, reality TV is very helpful for that. Anything that doesn't have traditional story structure. And like, I don't know how reality TV gets made, so like my brain can enjoy it without trying to reverse engineer it. And then I also paid a bunch of Warhammer, so I've been into Warhammer for a long time. I usually just put on wrestling, paint Warhammer. That's always a good zone out for me.
What about you, David?
You want to know how reality TV is made? Basically, you get a bunch of people, you put them in a room and ply them with alcohol and watch them tear each other apart. That's how it's made. It's basically human torture porn.
I've never been able to get into it since the early old 90s MTV Real World. Real World, and I was never super into Road Rules, but the earlier Road Rules, that was reality TV I kind of enjoyed. But then Survivor got big. I could never get into Survivor. Big Brother, I could never get into Big Brother. It went into okay.
But it's a whole thing. But yeah, no, there's I think just getting into an art form that you don't understand when you work in one that you do know quite a lot of detail is very, very nice.
Nice. Are you, David? You had some opinions on reality TV? Or is that an escape for you, or what's?
I don't. I've actually withdrawn from most reality TV. I play video games. That's what I do to chill. And Magic the Gathering. A lot of Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I'm not smart enough for Magic the Gathering. I understand the rules.
Listen, I just chugged a bunch of Tylenol. I should be good.
That's not what they say in America. We got opinions on Tylenol now, dude. We got studies on Tylenol.
Yeah, well, it's just gonna make me into the best Magic the Gathering player in the world. So,
did you buy any? I know the Spider-Man just came out. I almost, if I wouldn't have got fired a few months ago, I probably would have dumped a lot of money into the Final Fantasy cards just to have them. I thought they were beautiful. Any recent sets you dove into, spent some money on?
No, I'm more into the old school stuff. When it comes to Magic, I'm a bit of a hipster, and it makes me sad to when I interact with new people, they're like, "Whoa, have you seen the new stuff?" And I'm sitting here going, "Well, I'm just gonna sit here in the corner and play with my, my old cards."
If you go to a commander night at a shop and someone pulls out
you will get me ranting
a Transformer card.
Commander, you get me ranting about how all power to everybody who plays Commander. It's just not for me.
Oh wow! I thought that was
I enjoy
everybody did
game.
that now. Wow.
Well, yeah, everybody does that except me, because again, I'm just a grumpy little guy. Yeah, it's just not the kind of Magic I want to play.
That's fair.
That's all I'll say. Otherwise, we'll launch into a rant. They'll I'll just pop down the little projector screen. There'll be graphs, and we'll go into the full rant about
we can't
why
return
Commander
from.
is not for me. But everybody who wants to play that game, who wants to enjoy Magic, that's awesome. It's not for me.
What video games you playing right now?
Regrettably, mostly Overwatch and World of Warcraft.
Blizzard pilled.
Yeah.
I've been playing. I just did
the Old Republic a little bit, actually, for a bit of a nostalgia trip. It's kind of fun.
The real one or the MMORPG?
The MMORPG. It's kind of fun.
I tried it when it came out. I couldn't get into it. I'm like, I don't know. It's I love RPGs and I love JRPGs. So MMORPG, you would think, and everyone I've tried, it's too big and weird. I'm like, what is happening? I don't know. Anyway.
Give Star Wars a shot again. You just play through the story and don't worry about the rest of it,
Yeah.
And I think if there's any message from this stream, it's hey everyone, give Star Wars a shot.
Yeah.
I know it's small and indie, and you might not give it a shot.
We're getting called out for being nerds because we haven't even started talking comics yet. We've hit Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, and how to deal with stress from our stressful day jobs in comics. But Phil, before we move on, what do you? I mean, I think you're working right now. I think you're drawing. How do you detach when you get stressed?
I used to jump from project to project, and then I would feel like that would kind of wake me up a little bit if I was feeling like I was flagging. But then eventually what ends up happening is I was doing so little of anything other than work that my body just started to fail me. I was talking to Christof about this the other day, and like I couldn't even work in my chair comfortably anymore because all my back muscles and everything were failing. So I started the gym, and so now I just kind of hop between working in the gym and spending time with my wife, walking the dogs and stuff like that. And she plays video games. I don't tend to play a lot. I like them, but I only like the co-op sort of stuff. So we play Call of Duty Zombies, not like the sort of the one where you scream at each other, you know, in multiplayer, like racial slurs and stuff like that, but just like killing zombies and watching numbers pop up for like an hour every few days is just like, it's kind of relaxing in some way, I suppose. But yeah.
Nice.
But yeah. There's not a lot of decompression at this end, and it kind of bleeds through into my sort of gaunt, deadly appearance. Deathly appearance, not deadly appearance. You're walking out of this alive.
You look
Thank
wonderful. You look beautiful. You're beautiful.
Yeah,
man.
I wish I had skin like yours, Blake.
Oh, fuck off! This interview's over. Prick.
I'm sorry.
Take back. No, I love you. I wish more people. You're the first time I interviewed Phil, he messaged me after and he was like, Blake, I hate doing shows. And he goes, and he was like, I had so much fun. He's like, I've never done like an interview where we just like laughed and talked about whatever we wanted to talk about, you know. And then he's
in fairness, like people, magic. If they want to find out about Requiem, there's a whole Kickstarter page for that.
You go to the page.
They want to find out about our stupid hobbies and.
The more I found,
Phil is more of an adult than any of us. Sure. We're all like, video games, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering. He's like, I spend time with my wife.
Yeah.
I have to. Again,
I don't know if anyone caught it. Before that, he literally goes, I used to decompress by doing more work. Like when work gets too much, I just go do different work. And in my mind, I was like, that's not. And then I'm thinking like, that's not healthy. He was like, my whole body failed me. And like,
yeah. It doesn't
but
work.
you think, you know, it's especially in freelance, you know, if like times are tough in freelance life, you know, sometimes you take a bunch of work, you know, and then a month later you're like, fuck, you know, wish I wouldn't have done that. But you know, it's just, it's a weird world. Comics are not just the contract work, freelancing, you know, it's just,
well, this goes back to what you were saying earlier about how nothing will happen for like a very long time, and then all of a sudden everything will be happening. So when you're trying to plan out the schedule, and not everybody, some people, not you two, or you know, Christof and Dave, but other people specifically, you know, you're waiting for stuff for a long time and you're trying to get stuff done, but you can't because the thing isn't there that you need to do to get the other stuff done. And then all of a sudden it all comes in and then you're working 3 times harder than you need to be. So, but yeah,
we got
not very healthy.
Who needs health, right? That's why I eat hot dogs every day. Fuck you, doctors. You know, they're all beef. Okay.
Are they Tylenol infused hot dogs?
No, that's a good idea though, because I get headaches sometimes, and if I just ate hot dogs and Tylenol simultaneously, then my tummy would feel better and my
that's
brain.
Healthy. That's what you should be doing. Definitely.
This is what
Tylenol and hot dogs.
This is what the world needs is more Blake's Buzz health tips. Ian says congratulations to the whole team. I hope you guys have an amazing launch. ADG's asking how long's the campaign running for. I'm pulling it up. You guys are you still doing 30 days or are you of the mind of the you're doing 30 days. You're 29.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we had a bunch of thoughts about this in terms of like what is the optimal amount of time, but 30 days felt right for this. Even though the middle 2 weeks always linger a little bit, I think it's just, especially with like, I don't know, we're up to issue 3, but we're still kind of introducing a lot of people to the series. So I think just having it up for a little bit longer is helpful in that way.
Nice. I like a 30-day campaign. I just managed The Future Is for Work Volume 2. And it was like the first week we had some stuff planned. And then it was like the second week trying to get press. And then you're like, then the third week, you're like, the campaign's over. Like, what do we do? You know? And it's just like, so I understand the thought process, but it's crazy when you take 1 week out of the equation it really changes the time frame so intensely.
Yeah, I think that was my feeling, because I definitely thought about 3 weeks, because again, it's well known in Kickstarter that like the first week and like the last week are kind of like the money weeks, and then the middle weeks slump a bit, but they're also kind of important for, I think, like, even though the pledges tend to be slower in those times, I think they're important for just like building momentum and awareness and just reminding people that you're there.
Yeah,
But
and
I mean,
feel
those
like
weeks kind of.
Yeah, those are the times when you bring in the new people, right? Like,
100%.
even though it's slow, usually the beginning and the end. Beginning is obviously people who've hit the follow button for the most part, right? And the end is people who have hit the follow button and not backed yet. And so like the middle is where you get all the new people, and we love those people.
100%.
Some might say more than the people who.
Yeah, I actually going to rank.
We love our OG backers, just not as much.
No, I think
we already got them on the hook. Okay.
Yeah, they're fed. They're fine.
No, I think I think definitely it's kind of like, for the longevity of a Kickstarter, you always want to be, obviously, like, you want each campaign to do a little bit better than the one before, and I think the way you definitely do that is by, like, obviously having like a solid base, and you don't want that to go away, but yeah, gradually just bring in dribs and drabs of kind of new people each time, and figuring out new platforms and new ways of reaching people. Now,
this is a good segue for a conversation, because this is a big topic in indie comics, right? Some people don't have hundreds and or thousands of dollars to throw at a press team, right? Or a good PR contact. You can do some things yourself, but things get bogged down. Social media is totally different now. The mailing list reigns supreme. The power of an email to engage with, right, means more than like 100 followers or something. I made that number 100%. Up, but let's go with that. Like, one email equals 100 followers, but like, because it is almost like, it's got to be like maybe 50 but it's more meaningful now, I think, than ever. What are you guys doing? You're 3 campaigns in now. You're having to, almost every campaign, I feel like something weird happened in the world, and so you've had to kind of think differently. You've had to think differently, kind of, for every campaign to market it, to get the attention, to get seen. What's some new? You got any new tactics, new secret sauce? I mean, not like, don't give us your whole marketing plan, or do like, what anything?
I mean, I feel like Noah is our secret weapon. Not so secret weapon anymore, but and that cover kicks ass. Like, I think, and also Noah is the best, but
I mean, I think I'm trying to think the biggest thing we don't have this time is Twitter, right? Like, in the first campaign, and to an extent the second, we had Twitter, and both David and me and Phil, I think, you were fairly active on Twitter, right, Phil?
Active, I was spending a little bit of time there and trying to
Phil was a goddamn wild man on Twitter.
all the time.
That counts. Yeah. But yeah, so I think and Bluesky is great. I love Bluesky. Very different in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Has a lot of similarities to Twitter, but also just in terms of like uptake on stuff, it's just like not the same. So I think you're right about like email being a big part of it. So I have like an email list that will get a bunch of updates about Requiem. And then reaching out to media folks like yourself, I think, is really helpful. I've kind of have my own press list that I reach out to people on. So I think that's just a big part of it, is just figuring out new ways. And then the other thing is, Dave and I go to a bunch of shows here in Australia, so we hand out flyers. We hand sell Requiem 1 and 2, so whenever we do, we tell people about the Kickstarter. So that's a kind of a way to reach new people as well, I think, being in those physical spaces. Nice. And one of the reasons why I decided that we should do 4 weeks instead of 3 was so that I've got a convention towards the end of the campaign I'm doing. And I feel like it's, again, really helpful to be able to promote the campaign at that convention. So yeah, it's very much, I think, more in person, email, Insta, and then I think what Dave was saying about Noah, and then our other amazing cover artist that we can reveal now, Marie Enger, right? Both Noah and Marie have pretty. I
love Marie's new cover. Let's
any excuse to work with Marie. They are the best. But anyone with like a fairly active fan base, which both Marie and Noah have, both large and active fan bases, I think really help. So that's kind of what we were relying on. And to be honest, I think when you pick, like, for a book like this, when you pick a cover artist, you are, like, obviously quality and the art is such a big part of it, and that's obviously what the primary part. But the second, kind of the scumbag part of your brain, is also like, how does this help from like a follower standpoint, from like helping us get the word out? Like, will the cover allow us to tap into their fans as well as kind of giving our fans something cool? So these are all kind of like scumbag business things, I guess,
you gotta be scumbaggy sometimes. I mean, not like I'm gonna kiss you right now, even if you don't want to be kissed, scumbag. Like, fuck, I don't know why I went.
But yeah,
marketing is dirty. No matter how clean you are, if you spam people's emails, you kind of suck. But a lot of people do it, and every now and then you'll get a backer or two out of it. I don't advise people to do that, but it is a tactic. But yeah, like even your mailing list, like you said, when the campaign is live, your mailing list gets a couple extra emails during that month or two, right, for pre-launch and launch.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people, your newsletter may not have had anything happen for months, and your campaign comes up, and then you get like three newsletter blasts in a month. That's a game that needs to be talked about too, right? And it's hard because it takes a lot of work to continuously engage a newsletter, continuously engage and build that audience, and not just use it when you need to, but it is something like you need to be cognizant of. Like, I have this thing, and even when I don't have a thing to market, I need to keep these people engaged and make this thing larger, work on. Anyway, what do you like?
I was about to say, coming from like a content marketing background, my kind of opinion with everything is like, what value am I giving the person reading it, right? So it's a trade-off. It's like, I'll tell you about my thing that I want you to give me money for, but in exchange, I'm going to give you something of like value. So I do a weekly newsletter, and on and off, like, I've had to take the last 2 weeks off, but we're back this week. And I always try and kind of do a mix of like, here's what I'm up to. Here's some thoughts on like creativity. Here's some like inside business stuff. Like, I just try and make sure that there's stuff of value so that someone can read it. Be like, oh, I learned something, or that was helpful.
Nice. We got a comment. What convention are you going to, Christof?
Oh, so this one will be one no one has heard of. So it's just a little one. It's a really cool event, but it's just in Sydney. It's called Comic Conversation. So it's run by our library system here has really been good on the uptake with comics. So it's run by one of our the Inner West Sydney libraries, and it's basically just a mini comic convention where we've got myself and some other local comic creators are kind of talking about our experiences in the industry. There's going to be a little artist alley there as well. So yeah, a really cool event. Yeah, awesome. I'm really excited for. But for anyone in the US, not super relevant.
Ronan is from your neck of the woods. He lives.
Oh, okay, yeah, amazing. Well, hopefully, Ronan, if can get your way to the Inner West to Ashfield Library, we would love to see you.
Blake's Buzz is huge in Australia. I don't get it. It's like I guess I do. I had David on, and then they all just flocked. They flocked to David.
It was all my fault.
Speaking of flocking to beautiful things, I want to bring. David's a beautiful man. So is Phil's art. That was the segue I was working to here. Gaze upon Phil's. I've seen this stuff in
Phil's art.
So Phil asked me.
They're all over it.
Phil asked me last night if I wanted to put any colored pages from the issue up, which I will. But I love your colored
these
pages,
are beautiful.
But there's something about the inks.
I believe this is the third time I've told you guys should do a black and white like artists. I think every time I see.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because we do have a black and white artist edition PDF of the first issue that is going to be available as one of our stretch goals. So if we reach the stretch goal, then everyone will get a free PDF of that. So I believe it's one of our from memory. It's one of our backer goals. So I believe it's either at 200, 250 backers, everyone gets
250. Yeah.
250 artist edition for free.
Y'all better start flocking to Kickstarter.
And a PDF, yeah, and it's stunning, yeah. So Phil, to answer your question, I'm gonna put those colored pages up, but I fucking love the inks, and I think, yeah.
No, it's a beautiful book. I've always been, ever since I saw it, I got to read the first issue. David, pitch us this Space Odyssey. Tell us what this Bad Memory Jammer's about.
Okay. So the crew of a Ark that is one of 5 that has fled a dying Earth must grapple with what killed the Earth as they uncover the truth surrounding a murder of one of their crew.
Incredible.
I feel like since we're at issue 3, I should probably add a bunch of detail, but there might be a psychic parasite hiding in their memories.
Yeah, I love the play with memory, and it's also just like memory's an intriguing thing, even when you have one that works, right? Because even when they work, they don't work perfectly. You have to be like a super genius to have like a what is it, like an didactic or what, memory or IQ? That's
right. There's a bunch of like white ladies who claim they can remember everything that ever happened to them.
Yeah. But but they, memories fail, and even when the mind is active and healthy, like memories fail. That's why like texting is more popular now than ever, because you can kind of relive conversations by rereading stuff, but you can't really like relive the conversation you had at the bar with your friends or at the restaurant. Anyway, so I love how you guys play with memory. And then not only do you play with memory and like how oh my God, it's when it's like it's how dainty it is, how it's not fragile, it's easily broken, fragile. Thank you. How fragile it is. But the location, this all happens in fucking space, right? And it adds an element, it adds a vibe, right? When you're in the middle of nowhere, literally like light years away from anything, and so much stuff can go wrong, and you don't know who to trust, and you don't know if you can trust yourself. That's terrifying, and I love that seed that as a reader you follow, right? And it's just like, it's like kind of unreliable narratory, but like everybody, and it's like an unreliable crew.
I think treating like memory in a lot of ways is like a sense, right? Because our senses tell us what is happening in kind of our exact moment, and then memory, and that's kind of where they serve us, in the exact kind of moment we're living now. But memory is what allows us to, remember the past, to understand the past and how it affects our future. So I think it, in a lot of ways, it's like a sense. So any time that it feels like it's unreliable or not working as well as it used to, I mean, it's like your eyesight, not working as well, or your sense of taste not working as well. Like it's quite scary. And I think that's kind of one of the things that we wanted to kind of talk about is the idea of like, what do you do when your memories aren't as reliable as you thought, or you don't have them to rely on? And I mean, that's something that I think we're all, at least I'm experiencing as I'm getting a little bit older. My memory's slowing down. A lot of phone usage has made my memory not as good as it used to be, and I just kind of dealing with a lot of this stuff in real time. So Requiem is just kind of that, but taken to 11, right? Taken to its most extreme place.
Yes. Oh, I like that you guys are doing this. I've been seeing more and more like backer goals and different things to get people engaged in the campaign. I think everything's about money, and we get it, right? But like, you don't always like talking about money. And there's also discourse of like, we need to talk about supporting Kickstarters differently, like saying support my campaign, don't back it. Campaigns don't, like, we're not funding the campaign. You got, it's like to try and use verbiage that's not money oriented. There's like a new discussion there that like, or to organically get people. I don't fucking know, guys. I just
come and caress my campaign.
Caress my campaign.
Give it a little stroke.
Look, to to be a jerk.
Feel it
for
grow
about-
rigid in your tender grasp.
coming coming from like a marketing background, you know, there's this thing called like the marketing funnel, right?
Mm.
Which is the idea that like people come in, they don't know anything about your product, and you kind of take them through, they buy it, and then the ultimate like place where you want to bring them to is like not only have they bought your thing, but they tell other people about it. And I think that is definitely kind of like our mindset coming into this campaign, right? We've got a lot of like, and this is where our amazing kind of day one backers who've been with us from the first campaign come into it. The people who really love the book, who are really passionate about it, being able to help us spread the word and tell other people, you know, back it if you can, but then being able to tell other people what you like about the book and your personal experience with the book and all that kind of stuff is so helpful.
Yeah, the first one, I mean, yeah, the first couple of days are big. And I see you guys are doing by the 24 and 48 hour early bird deal. I like that too. It's because it's usually 24 and then sometimes they offer 48. Y'all are doing like the day ones are the real ones, but the 48-hour ones are.
I think. Yeah, so just for some context on that, so basically we're doing some pretty drastic savings in the first 24 hours. Specifically, the digital issue of 3 is 50% off. So super cheap, you know, and again, for people who've just been reading it digitally and want to like keep up, it's a cheap, easy way of doing that. And then we've also got a couple of other tiers that are 30% off. And then for 48 hours, we have the physical issue of Requiem 3 for 20% off. So really, we just want to give people plenty of time to be able to get that second issue at a bit of a discount. So have a look. We've got a bunch of stuff in the first 24 and 48 hours. So obviously, the biggest savings are in the first 24 hours, but we've tried to do a good mix of all those kind of, I guess, for lack of a better word, key tiers. So the tiers where you like get the book or the catch-up pack, those kind of things that kind of get the book into your hand as easily and cheaply as possible.
Phil, who's a cover artist if they got for a campaign you'd feel threatened by?
Threatened by?
That's so funny.
Physically or artistically?
Both.
I think everybody could take me on both sides of that, I think. I mean,
don't sell yourself short, my friend.
Oh, no. I'm free. Yeah, I don't know, everybody. I think they've all done better jobs. I'm not just saying this to be humble or modest or anything. I genuinely think that every single person who's done a variant cover across these 3 issues has infinitely gone straight past me into, I'm going to say iconic. Maybe not iconic, sort of, but you know, so much better than what I've done, and I'm not threatened by it. But at the same time, I wish I could have done better. You know,
Look,
Marie, I love Marie's cover. I love Noah's cover. I love everything Shane did. I love what Beck did. I love all of them. Liana and Sky. Sky did one, yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah,
you
I think
guys had
all
Skyler,
of them. Spectacular. I've got copies of all of them. I want to get them framed up on a wall at some point when I decide to put some more stuff up on the wall.
I think, Phil, that's something that's kind of interesting. I don't know what you feel about this, but kind of like as a series artist, right, you kind of have to understand the story from all angles in terms of like, because when you're drawing a scene, there's a bunch of different like micro questions you have to answer about like, you know, where are they in the ship? What this bit do? What's that bit? Like all this kind of like background stuff, whereas the cover artist is kind of like a cardboard cutout. Is they can come in, they can approach it from a really specific angle, make it amazing, and then drop out. I think it's almost very different. I think there's like a not an ease, but there's definitely like a, I don't know, just like a, I guess an ease, to cover art that when you're doing the interior, you're so kind of having
the approach. The approach that they come with is often, you know, I mean, Marie's cover couldn't be further from my cover, but she somehow managed to encapsulate the ambiance, shall we say, of what issue 3 has going on. Same with Noah as well, you know. Whereas like Christof's saying is I kind of approach it more from the interior aspect of it and try and put something of that into the cover, and then I just end up crying myself to sleep every night because, you know.
But I think part of it as well, Phil, is like the nice thing about a cover is you just like with the issue, right? You're drawing the whole issue. You've got to deal with it in its entirety and plurality. With a cover, you can just be like, just explore this one visual element. So like Noah, I mentioned the biodome, which is kind of like a green, lush habitat that is going to play a big role in this issue. So I was like, I just mentioned it to Noah, being like, hey, if you want to feature this is kind of one of the environments that's unique to this issue. And Noah's like, I love drawing plants. So just went ham drawing plants. So that's, I guess, the other part of like the for lack of a better word, the privilege of when you're being a cover artist, right? You can just explore one idea, one little visual idea. Whereas again, Phil, you've got to figure it all out. I want to so many micro questions about the world and the characters and how they are, all these kind of things.
I want to go back to how you said cover artists were a shell of a human being, because I agreed. I'm just kidding. I think both jobs are hard, right? Because Phil is so involved with the story all the time, and a cover artist is too, but you kind of have to help get them there. I mean, not the artists are busy, right? So sending them, being like, hey, read these 3 issues and draw us a cover. They may be like, okay, you gotta. Some artists will. They'll be like, yeah, they'll be like stoked and dive in and watch Event Horizon 5 times and get like an idea and email you guys about it or whatever, But some people are like, okay, well, I don't really have time to read 3 issues. What can you help me out or give me some? So it's a weird game, and you have to get them to be a part of the story quickly. You have to kind of bring them in, and then you bring them in and let them go. Whereas Phil is shackled to this. He couldn't leave if he wanted to. Right? He can't leave. You'll never leave, Phil.
This is their basement. I'm not allowed to leave. I've been down here for a while now. Finish the pages.
There is a shackle on his ankle. We
I'd lower the camera, but I'm not wearing anything underneath this.
That
because
would be
they told me not to.
Classic Blake's Buzz throwback. Blake knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, good times. The silly things I've done live.
Terrified, really intrigued. I don't know. Stand up, Blake. Stand up.
No, I'm dressed.
Don't send. Don't send people the link to the Kickstarter. To the stream.
I'm just gonna do the show from up here now. I really like Demon Slayer, by the way. It's pretty cool. That shirt was $8. That shirt was $8. Yeah, it was a good $8
so
shirt.
If you send people the link to the StreamYard, by the way, make sure you're wearing clothes when you're setting it up, because time zones are weird.
Yeah. So all right. So I used to my studio used to be in the garage, and it was no air conditioning or anything, and it was quiet. You couldn't hear Bruce bark. Right now, sometimes you hear Bruce bark, but Blake's not sweating during the live streams, and the computers aren't overheating and shit. It was there were some live streams where it would be 90 degrees. And it's just so hot. There's you can't really have fans blowing because the mics pick it up. So anyway, cool. It was it's a little sweat box. And so I took a shower before the stream, and I was in my sweat box room. And so I wasn't really wearing clothes, and I was just setting stuff up. And to set stuff up in StreamYard, if you want to upload images or something, you have to hop in the studio and then upload the images. Right. And so I hop in the studio, and I'm standing I'm naked, and I'm standing at the computer with the mouse like this, and I'm upload.
What were you doing? Show me what you were doing.
And all of a sudden David Hazan is there, and I get and I'm on the screen
I maintain that I did not see anything.
I took myself off the screen real quick, and then I was like, what are you doing there, David? He's aren't we starting now? And I was in an hour. So I don't know.
It's okay. One day we'll tell the story of that time that Christof saw me naked as well.
When did I see you? I've just blocked.
We have the time.
New York. Yeah.
I just forgot. Really.
Yeah. Look, I wouldn't blame you for expunging that from your memory.
No, I think it was more than just I was all right, this is information that my brain was probably not super critical that I know what Dave looks like in the nude for my day-to-day life.
I mean,
You
if
got in the
someone's
memory
gonna see me
wiping
naked,
machine.
I want to
You
scar
got in
them.
you got in the decom chamber and you went boop.
Yeah, this was the origin of
Delete.
Requiem, trying to forget things.
Trying to.
What can we do to take this away? Got to go to outer space.
Gotta make an entire world where this is possible.
As far away from New York as we can get. The only way we can get there is the magic of comic books. That's a beautiful story, Phil. Thanks for if that doesn't sell this comic book. That's amazing.
Yeah. Requiem. You ever seen someone naked you wish you hadn't?
Yeah, it's
Every
like
day when I climb out of the shower, I got to get rid of
Dude,
that full
yeah,
body
like
mirror.
that was that was like my whole e-dating experience. Like that was just like I'm sure it worked both ways. All right. I'm not
incredible.
I look like a beached walrus when I'm not another when I'm all naked and sweaty. David saw it, whether he wants it, whether he wants to admit it or not.
I
Saw part of
maintain
it.
that I did not see anything.
I was a lot heavier.
I would have
than, too. Like,
celebrated you if I had seen it.
That's the scary part.
I maintain
Now-
that I'm going to be
now's
joining these
when I need
StreamYard videos an hour earlier every single time.
Yeah.
from now on. Next
Dude.
year, putting it in my calendar 1 hour early. I'll get the
We're
lotion,
on
I'll get
like,
the
with, like,
tissues.
licking our lips.
There was one time I logged in and it was like 30 minutes before the show started and the guest was in there and I was like, the show's not for like a half hour. And they're like, I just want to be early. And I was like, well, I'm going to go. I was like, I'm not going to sit in here. I was like, I need to get like a bong hit and like a few, like I need to listen to a couple metal songs, like getting, like that's where the energy comes in. I'm doing drugs and rocking out before they go live. I'm like, whoa, then it happens. I can bring it. I can light the fire, and bring that fire to indie comics or Kickstarter, where there's a great 3 issues of Sci-Fi called Requiem, which you should all go back. I know we haven't talked about the comic a lot, and I would apologize, but I've been having fun talking to you all about the randomness that is life and this industry. But I really do love this book, and ever since, like, this was how I was introduced to both Phil and Phil's art, and it like absolutely blew me away. And when we were scanning through those inks, it's just what he does, like Phil, what you do with people's eyes, and it really works for this too, like the sci-fi horror and like also the blankness that you can, like the emotion,
the blank dead
withhold.
stares that everybody has.
It's like, it's nuts, dude.
Based on myself.
Like it's so cool how you can like do both.
Are you doing it right now?
Maybe.
Who knows? No one can
I've
tell.
got my camera out all the time, just like trying to like take pictures from drawing from reference. That's why all the women are bald. All the men are bald. Everybody's bald. I have to go back in edits and add hair in because they keep sending me messages. They have hair. They're not supposed to look like you. They're supposed to have personalities. They're supposed to have hopes and dreams. Oh, I remember.
As a Star Wars fan, I will stand a bald queen on in space. Bald queens in space can get it. Okay, we all know this.
Could you imagine if like someone hacked like Phil's phone or something and they're just like going through selfies and it's just tons of selfies of either him looking horrified or like a corpseless, just dead stare. And they're just like, who takes selfies like this? What is this? Like, be interesting. That'd be some good back matter for the hardcover or trade paperback later. Like
pictures of me.
Of Phil selfies.
Reference photos.
Like if you want some pictures, I'll send you some pictures. So.
That sounds like a threat.
I know.
No, it's supposed to be nice, an offer, something to take away from this, something positive. But no, it's a threat.
Instead of
thanks, David. Thank you.
Instead of Fountains of Wayne, it's pictures of Phil.
Oh,
such a specific. Now I'm so sorry. I have to drop off, but I'm hoping just because I have another meeting, but I'm hoping to join you guys back very shortly.
Yeah. If you're coming back, hop back in. It'll be the same link and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll
tag
hopefully
teams.
you guys
off in about 15. So.
All on you, Phil.
Well, you're leaving in 15, so it's me and Blake. Oh, let's just take this private, Blake.
I'll try to make sure that Christof is back before I
all right.
before I drop off.
I shall return.
Thanks. Oh my goodness, that's I'm how many? Remind me, how many issues is this going to be? It's 5.
Five.
Right.
5. We were very ambitious on this. I don't think we kind of realized how much of a war of attrition that Kickstarter can be. I think we knew academically, but practically it's exhausting. And like it's been a hot minute since Requiem #2's campaign, and let me tell you, the like urge to keep refreshing the page just like it pops right back up, you know.
Or is that what kind of Kickstarter?
Like, ride the
You're
bike.
always on the page, like refreshing it, looking at it.
Like I'm terrible for it. Awful, in fact. I'm like literally sitting here messaging Christof, going, "Yeah, add me to the back end of the campaign. I want to see who be doing this, you know."
No, I have to do it. I mean, I have to do it kind of for work, but like, it is kind of all the data. I never realized how much data there like was like on Kickstarter until I got paid to start looking at the data on Kickstarter. But it's cool. You can, you can kind of see like who's coming back and who's not. And I know some people will like send messages and ask like, hey, what's just curious, like what didn't bring you back to the new, I don't know. I don't know. There may be better ideas to that. I once had to cancel a pledge because I got a paycheck that wasn't like as good as I thought it was going to be. And I was like working at a bar. So like, it was slow, cut early on shifts, not a lot of tip. Anyway, I was fucking broke. I'm broke joke. I'm still broke all the time. And, but I had to cancel a Kickstarter pledge, and the creator messaged me. Oh, I felt so bad. They're like, hey, why'd you cancel this? I just want to know, I've had a lot of cancellations. And I was like, oh fuck, man. Like, I was like, hey, I'm real sorry, but like, I just had to buy food. I was like, there was bills and, and I know shit happens. And, we just ran some astronomical big campaigns at work, and then even then we had a lot of big cancellations, and it just kind of happens. You gotta roll with the punches. But yeah, I don't know, like that constant refresh but it's funny. It's either like there's no in between. It's either you're constantly refreshing or you don't look at it until like someone tells you something like, oh, we broke whatever, $5,000, $10,000. You're like, whoa, what, really? Like, Phil, are you on it a lot? Are you on the page refreshing it, or?
To memory for Requiem 2 and Requiem 1, yes. I think just idly because I'm at the computer all the time. So, I got a couple of monitors, one I draw and one I use for reference and stuff. So I can just slap it to one side. And then I think I don't hit refresh, but I have like a tab reloader. So I just get it to reload, and then I know that I'm not going to be clicking on it to see, because it's just another limbic system dopamine driven thing, isn't it? It's the idea of expectations, and the chemicals driving you towards the expectations. And I don't, I steer clear of social media a lot, and I steer clear of, I'm on the computer all the time, but I don't use the internet a lot. Specifically because of this, because I get, it's so easy to get sucked in. I used to, like a long time ago, and then I've kind of weaned myself off it bit by bit by bit over the years. Again, which is not good in this industry, not using social media that much, and I've paid the price for it to a degree.
You're probably happy though. You're probably like,
I don't know about that, but I'm definitely a lot happier than I would be than the periods of time when I do get sucked into social media, which is usually during campaigns. Because I like things like, I like social media for direct messaging people. I like to have conversations with people, but I don't know how much this speaks to a lot of people in the world, but I would imagine talking about asinine things that happen in my life, and I'm not trying to be pretentious or anything. It's just like, I made a sandwich, or, I'll be driving along and somebody will annoy me, and I bet I should tweet about this because, or whatever the Bluesky equivalent is, because people find this interesting. It's like, no, they won't. It's not interesting. Just move past it. But I like to talk to people in the industry and stuff, obviously, and I like my artwork out there. So I kind of spiral a little bit here, but yeah, I use it for that. As to refreshing in the thing, I did it for Sold, because Sold was the last campaign that I did earlier this year, and that was another one where I was paying like a lot more attention than I should have been to watching that roll around, because that was quite a tough. I say it's a tough campaign in that it didn't go quite as far as we wanted it to. It got funded and everything, but then I think our expectations, this is myself and Nick Bryan, who's the writer, we'd expected it to go further and faster, but it does the same thing we were talking about earlier, 1 week good, second week, third week down, fourth week back up again. And when it becomes predictable like that, it almost feels like you don't really want to get involved during those mid 2 weeks, because you'll just be not wasting your time, but you're setting expectations for yourself.
Effort versus reward, right? It's
not
firstly it's intangible anyway. Like, you can kill yourself marketing a campaign and still have no one backing it. Like, there's no direct correlation between the amount of effort you put into the campaign and the reward. It's like with most things, but it's just those middle 2 weeks are such a slog and hard on your ego too. It just sucks.
I'm telling you, I feel that, but when you drop it and go to the 3 week, it's kind of it adds an excitement, but it's just crazy how quick the time goes by. Also, Ian, what's up, Ian? He says he's had more cancellations than the last 3 campaigns. He's been on the platform for a while too. I know not only cancel it, and like they were supposed to be helping with that, like making it harder to cancel, like right before a campaign ends.
Turning up to your house.
But they also like fake and spam pledges are still a problem. On the Just Go campaign, we got a $1,500 pledge, like a tip. Someone like pledged $1,500, not on a tier, sent us a message like, this campaign looks really interesting, I'd love to back like pledge another, like I think it was $3,500 to get it up to like $5,000. It was like, I'd love to pledge if you message me and talk to me about why I should. And we were like, no, like, but there was nothing you could really do. Like, we even like the message the platform and then they were kind of like, usually they just go away. It's like, well, okay. Like, and then like, by the time they really did kind of look into it, the pledge canceled. Cause we kind it was messing with our stats. We were like, we can't say we're funded in 7 hours if like $1,000 is gone, like, so it's just, we were stressing about it. And I hear stories about like that all the time. And on a campaign, on bigger campaigns, it's a problem because you don't really notice it, right? Like if you get after $10,000, like it's harder. It gets harder to notice those. Like, I mean, sure, like several $1,000s you'll notice, right? But like 50, 100, 200, it all starts adding up real quick if the campaign is popular and escalating, and then those fake pledges, and then they can hurt you. I've seen people like unlock stretch goals and then lose like a few grand cancellations like at the end, and then you still honor them, right? Because you don't want to be like anyway, it's weird, and it's aggravating but I mean, you have to let people cancel just for, I mean, if they can't buy it, you can't just like, it's not like a blood contract. But yeah, there's got to be something that happens.
Is there a way to remove pledges? Because I don't spend a lot of time on the admin side of it.
You have to like forward it to because you don't have access. You can like see the finances, but you don't have access to like a lot of their like payment info and stuff. So it's a kind of a bummer. But yeah, I keep hearing more and more stories about that. And then, like I said, if it's $5,000, you're going to see it. If it's $1,500, you're most likely going to see it, unless your campaign's like rocking and rolling, right? But like $20, $50, those $100, you may not, though, when those come in, you may not be like, oh, that's fake, because people are actually pledging those amounts, and then like I said, like then when the spams cancel, it can hit you. Also, everybody on Kickstarter is on strike right now. They're still encouraging people to use the platform. So like they're active campaigns, like they're like still support indie comics, support the campaigns, but they're like they're trying to take their 4-day work week away, and the 4-day 32-hour, like that was considered full time for salary at Kickstarter for years, and they're trying to change all this stuff, and it's there's a strike at Kickstarter, so the website and stuff is still running, but yeah, it's interesting. Yet again, interesting times, right? It's just like we're dying, like all the
Anything good that
diamond
people
headlines
get
and-
must be ripped back from
Right?
them at the
Yeah.
earliest possible opportunity, so somebody somewhere can make more money than they fucking need. Swear to
Well,
fucking
in the
yeah.
end, nobody makes anything, right? Like, I feel like, everybody lost in that diamond thing. Like, what were they trying to achieve?
Oh, dude, I don't even. It's crazy. And then there's like, because of work now, I know about like, I don't think I would have ever known about like Sparkle Pop, right? Because that's just not the comic news I read. And like the Sparkle Pop stuff and like trying to like sell this diamond stock and like diamonds, like trying to get judges to say like they can't sell this stuff so that Diamond can sell it to help pay for their lawyers. It's fucking crazy, dude. And like judges just finally said like, anyway, like Sparkle Pop sounds like a bad, like, I don't know how they seem very nefarious and scary. and they're called Sparkle Pop, which just makes me like laugh. It's like killer clowns from outer space, right? They're like these murderous clowns with like acid pies that they're throwing at people, but they should be like fun and laughy and cute. That's what this feels like. Killer clowns, indie comics right now is like killer clowns from outer space. You heard it here on Blake's Buzz. It's real news. It's real news. Anyway, what do you guys like? What are you thinking about? I know David's not the biggest, you like he doesn't. He's not all the way on the horse about crowdfunding. Like, I mean, obviously you agree with it enough to like have a book on the platform, but it's not perfect in your eyes, right? Like, but what this is the third issue. Are things getting better? Like the third time around?
Ask me in 29
29 days.
time.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Fair.
No, I just think that like every time we do this, it feels like a new thing. It's hard to describe. Part of that is because the marketing landscape has changed so much, and also like the Kickstarter sort of status quo keeps changing, that I don't think there's no way to predict anything. So you just have to kind of hope and pray a little bit, which is fun for us when we're deeply invested, both spiritually, emotionally, and financially in the thing. So
I want to make like a Kickstarter quote graphic of like Kickstarter strategies with David Hazan. And it's, you gotta hope and pray a little bit. But I mean, you kind of do.
I love the deal life as well. You
can pay a marketer, like sometimes paying all that money. What the campaign funds doesn't justify what you pay. I've heard a lot of that. And I've consequently like offered my services for I've recently found way less than just because I always thought that like, it's indie comics, you got to be like, I'll do that for 350. I used to do like anything for I used to do anything for 350.
Now we're talking. Now we're getting to it.
I used to
don't
do
undervalue yourself.
anything for $350. I was like, that's how I got into comics.
I got to open my banking app. I got to see how much I got.
That's
nothing.
It wasn't,
what a shame.
I wasn't like taking pics of feet or nothing, but like it was just like, oh, you want this done? I'll run your campaign. I'll do whatever. I'll do whatever. $350.
That's cheap.
I know, dude. I know. And so anyways, it's yeah, so, but it sucked for a while, but that's how it got me real work.
How you getting on now?
Things are good. Yeah, like I really love working at Prana.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing really, really big, awesome things and working with cool people. And I'm in meetings all the time, but I'm in meetings with like really smart people, and everybody's
not like now then.
Yeah, nothing.
Well,
like
sorry.
Now.
David excluded. I'm trying to,
But I'm in those rooms sometimes now where people with really big names are throwing ideas around. And sometimes like I take an idea and wrestle with it and throw it back. And people with really big names are like, whoa, that's a fucking great idea. Let's roll with it. I
Oh
made
yeah, it's the it's the my heroes are now my peers, and it's very weird. Which happens.
Yeah.
When you make comics, it happens.
It's nuts, and I love it. But and then I'm also working. I'm doing some work with Laguna Studios, and like I'm like their Kickstarter guy now. So I came back, Phil. I've now done like 3 campaigns in the last couple months, and I made like social media graphics for people before, but I wouldn't have called myself a designer. And in the last couple months, like I've built and managed like 3 full campaigns, like from graphics to copy to launch to the end. And I've done well. And so yeah, now at Laguna, I'm like their Kickstarter. I am at Prana too. Like my title at Prana is community and crowdfunding specialist. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't have to. I won't really. I have to do some PR for work for my day job, but I can just like build Kickstarter pages and launch them and and then be like, all right, bye. Or I like do the updates and stuff if they want me to, and I'm there if they like need a graphic or a stretch goal graphic or something, right? But yeah, like it's I'm finding pretty good work in that, and I'm getting better. Oh man, everybody's gonna laugh at me, but I tell I'm using Canva. I have Canva. I pay $14 a month for Canva Pro because I've been broke. But like I have to get Adobe. I have to pay for it. Like I've like reached the point where if I keep doing stuff, I have to have more software power to work with and more customization options.
Canva is an app.
Yeah, it's Photoshop for dummies, basically. So
Photoshop for people who don't have an infinite amount of time to learn how to do the things.
Yeah,
that,
so
should be made simple.
Very specific things.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have to learn how. I'm gonna have to learn how to use it too. So I'm gonna have to like pay for Canva and whatever Adobe products I end up needing simultaneously while I like use one to do work and learn to use the. It's cost me a fucking. Next month's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be stupid. That's my project. We have to fulfill Justgo, which so like I have to do a backer kit fulfillment for like over 1,000 backers. I'm very stressed about that. That's like right after NYCC is that's happening. Bam. And then after that is when I plan on, because even sometimes with work now they've asked me to do stuff and I'm like, I can't do that. I need something else to do that with. So yeah, I have to move into the real software world. It's funny. I made a lot of money with Canva. I made a lot of campaign graphics. I sold a couple hundred Love More, Hate Less, Read Comics shirts. I made those designs on Canva.
Hell yeah. Proud owner.
I mean, like,
gotta get one.
People can knock it. They can make. I hustled with Canva. I would let my bank account overdraw, and that did happen one time. Just that was the only thing I was paying for because that was how I made money was Canva, and I took like the $32 hit, like when the
overdraw, yeah.
Because I had to have it, and and it was also I wasn't paying attention, so it was also my fault too. But anyway, like it was. It's gotten me out of jams. I've learned a lot with it. It's made me a significant. Actually, hasn't made me any money because I haven't filed taxes in a couple of years. So yeah, it hasn't made me a goddamn thing. I don't know what I was talking about. Also, just kidding. I file taxes. I'm an American. That's whatever. I'm financially.
Dear
fucked,
IRS,
by the way.
who is listening right now.
You have to put on my IRS badge.
Yeah. I hope someone audits me. Like someone would have to do my taxes if they audited me, right? Someone would have to crunch those numbers.
Yeah, you would.
No, they have someone has to double check it then. I don't know. Anyway.
Can't hope they still make you do it.
Well, if I could do it, I would do it. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know how we got
this is what the people want. This is what they're like, wow, like I watch Blake's Buzz to learn about some cool books and then like when Blake talks about his life, I feel way better about mine. Like, The other day I was watching this guy, Phil, he was on there and he was like, when I get tired, I just work harder. I just, I'm not that hungry.
When
and
you
I
put it
feel
like
good.
that, it makes him sound like one of those like dude influencers.
One of those tech
you
bro
know,
influencers.
He's like, I fit 3 days into my one day.
He's fucking like jacked. Yeah, I worked for one of them.
I wake up at 4 a.m., do 6 hours, then
Yeah, dude, like I put this weighted vest on and ran through a swamp for comics. Like, okay, bro, sweet. It's I don't know.
I take a
There's a
midday
hustle
nap
and a
now.
drive.
That's
Yeah.
right. 20 to 30 minutes around about 4 o'clock. Refreshes me. Gives me the beautiful skin. Helps my beard growing a little bit better. It's not working, guys. It's not working.
I do. I quit drink. I used to drink G Fuel, and I would always like G Fuel. It's like powdered energy drink mixed with water.
Oh.
Oh God.
And but I found out like
that's what energy drinks needed. It's like, how do we make these better? What if we powdered them?
Just.
But it tasted like pink lemonade. It tasted like real pink lemonade, and it was sugar free. But anyway, I read a deal, and I don't have cancer. Probably I haven't been to the doctor in a long time, but But I read a deal like if you do have, or if you have like cancer cells in your body, energy drinks like make them work harder. Like when it like that energy your body gets from an energy drink, if you have bad shit in you, it works harder too.
That
and
sounds like pseudoscience, my friend.
Well, okay, I heard it from the Joe Rogan podcast. I've never listened to that show once in my life. I don't know if it's I just read it. It wasn't. I don't think he's ever talked about it.
This is the ivermectin enjoyer. Joe Rogan.
I used to work with a lady who took ivermectin and like told people about it.
What is wrong with people?
Don't worry. I'm sneezing and coughing, but I took ivermectin.
I'm just progressively trying to kick certain people out of my fan base. So anything you can do to help that, for example, trashing Joe Rogan live on air will help.
No, dude, it fucks me up because I used to like kill Tony on Monday nights. Like it was like I used to get my fucking ass kicked at the old studio job on Mondays, and like I mean, like I would like cry at work a lot. Like I would be at my desk crying, working. Trying to get everything done. And then Monday night I watched this live podcast, live stand-up comedy, and they're all fucking like Trump-dites. And it's like they have some comedians on, but I don't know, like they punch down a lot, and I don't like, and I'm a lot more cognizant of stuff like that with everything going on. And but yeah, then I found out like they're all like Joe Rogan people, and now it's just like it sucked. Like I really enjoyed this problematic thing, and I've like now sometimes when I watch it, I feel like I like Catholic guilt like sets in. But yeah, it's just it sucks. Like I really liked like what Mark Maron came out and was talking about punching down and how it's not funny anymore, and I really like agreed with it, and I got like all emotional about it. And then it's like, wow, how can you like do that and then watch this fucking show where they talk about like how great Texas is, make fun of like joke about trans people, like they'll have a trans comic on, but like definitely make comments and stuff. And then it's like, if the comedians are cool with it, maybe they'll come back on. And then like, that's even kind of like, that's dirty. Cause it's just like, you're getting paid in exposure, and it's even worse exposure because it's at the cost of your like individuality. Anyway, it's just, it's fucked. And it's I'm
sure we'll hear about it
fuck
at
Joe
the
Rogan
Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Oh my God, but also I'm a huge hypocrite because like I really, if I don't know what I'd do if for $1 million somebody came up to me and they were like, here's $1 million cash, Blake, I need you to be a bad person and do something and you can have this money and walk away with it. Like I want to think like I would be a good person, but like would, like if you could see that money and like and really and it's real, like I don't know, and so there's good people on both sides, right? But I see both sides of the argument. I see life is short. Why would you not take this millions of dollars to do your job? And then get to go to get on a plane, do your job, and go home to get million or whatever the payout was. And then I also see like, why would you want to make disgusting people laugh no matter how much they pay you, and be a dancing monkey for them, right? And for them to like laugh and point at and be, look at the silly Americans. That's kind of, that's disgusting. So I don't know. So
Really
we're getting
ending my tenure here on a positive note.
Hey, you
I gotta
wanted
jump off
you wanted
pretty
to trash
soon,
Joe
so-
Rogan. We got him trashed. We took him down.
Yeah.
We single-handedly took down Joe Rogan on Blake's Buzz. You don't have to worry about him anymore in his fake medical advice.
Well, that Red Bull gives your cancer cells wings.
Hey man, I switched to water and green tea extract. I still take some.
Then
I don't drink
the
coffee
story has a
anymore.
happy ending then.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
get.
no more
I
G
still
Fuel.
get some kind of
No,
stimulant.
that's what happens after the show.
Well, David, before you, I actually, it's we have been going an hour and a half. David, before you go, do you social media, all shout outs, all anything you want to have people follow you?
Yeah, so you can follow me at David Hazan. I'm still on Twitter. I don't post there so much, but I do try to share my like updates around the social media landscape. So I'm David Hazan on both Twitter and Instagram, and then just David Hazan on Bluesky. Follow me there, or just like go to my website, davidhazan.com. Should have some new stuff coming in the new year. Very cool. We got like if you missed it, Hello Darkness Volume 2 has a story from me in it, from Boom Studios. Flash Gordon Quarterly issue 4 has the main story is my one, and it's something I'm very proud of. Hopefully we can get more people reading it. That would be great. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know if this has been officially announced, but it is like solicited on Simon and Schuster, so I'm just gonna like say it. Nottingham Omnibus, March or April next year.
Oh shit! Because I never did get those signed hardcovers. I always wanted them, and like I always thought about it. And then every time like Mad Cave would have a sale, yet again on my financial woes again. But I never had the scratch for them. But I'd buy it on. I'd buy a big old girthy collection of David Hazan.
Yeah, let me
so
see
cool.
how. Yeah, let me see what the price point is on that, because USD $29.99 according to Simon and Schuster. So there you go.
$29.99.
Yeah,
Wow, three volumes.
it might change.
Volumes?
I don't
Wait,
know.
so it'd be 4 because it'd be. Were there 2?
3 volumes, Tales, couple of other of the shorts, I believe.
Nice.
But that's subject to change and subject to Mad Cave's.
They're gonna have the heavily sought after Free Comic Book Day issue. Didn't you guys do a free comic? Yeah, you did a free comic book
We
day.
did do a Free Comic Book Day issue. Also, one of the best things I've ever written. Still,
with Andre,
at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a champion, Andrea Moody.
He drew me.
Of course he did.
I interviewed him like forever ago, and he was like, I love your energy. You're so excited about books, and he like did a quick sketch. And I should have fucking asked. I didn't. I was fucking new. I wasn't like, hey, will you send me that? I should have, and I never did. But yeah, he's an old live stream with him. That was crazy, and I was just like, what the fuck? That's nuts. What a cool dude. Yeah, I loved that issue. That was such a cool issue. You're a good writer.
I still think.
I don't know if I told you recently you're a really good writer.
No, it's been a hot minute. Yeah, and hopefully there should be some Death Drop news coming soon. Alex is working hard on several different things. So
I know they're so busy.
Yeah, they're hustling, and we love that for them. yeah, but the art is for the most part done. We just got to do some edits, and then hopefully you'll be hearing an announcement pretty soon.
So cool.
Which would, yeah, be nice to finally get that one out too.
Get it out the right way, how it was intended. No one changing.
Yeah. So it'll probably be, it'll either be like the digital-ish single issues, or and then the trade, or just the trade. But yeah, I'm very excited. That one has been a long time coming. You know, we're rapidly approaching like the 8-year mark of when I wrote the first issue. So
Wow. That's nuts.
Insane.
I remember when you and Alex came on. I think it was like 3 or 4 a.m. for Alex.
Yeah.
And we ended up we all talked and then we did like a couple hour live stream, then talked for like another hour after, and like that was such a good time though. But that was for issue 1. That was the announcement. Trying to get pre-orders for
our launch one. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll get there. Nothing happens quickly in comics until it does. So
yeah.
All right.
Well, it was so good to see you, David. I appreciate
sorry to abandon you, Phil, but I feel like you're in good
I'm in
hands.
good hands. Yeah.
And hopefully Christof will be right back. We feel like we've been doing this little rotation. Anyway. Thank you. Back Requiem, please.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. And hopefully you get some good comics out of it. Bye.
Hey, David. Thanks, man.
Bye. Catch you later.
Oh, fuck. What do we do now, Phil?
Fuck, I have no idea, mate. I got dishes in the sink, probably. I could just go and crack on with them.
I'm just kidding. What? Like I said, I kept you guys for an hour and a half. I was gonna hang out to see if Christof came back. I didn't want to have us abandon a fallen soldier. But yeah, this is about the time I usually wrap things up anyway. But I will remind everybody that the first time I met Phil, all right, I've never had anybody do this before. I've had people send me books and sexy pictures and stuff. But Phil, I was like, I loved this. He did a X23. We were looking through the Kickstarter page and he was selling commissions and he showed off this X23 commission. And I love Laura. And I was like, dude, oh, she's perfect. She looks amazing. And after it, Phil was like, Blake, I'll send it to you. And I was like, what? No way. And I was like freaking out. And then he messages me a little later. And he was like, Blake, I can't find it. He was like, what if I could draw you anybody? And so I had him draw Magic. And this is what blew my mind. He did like 3 thumbnails and he sent me, like 3 quick thumbs. And he was like, which one? And it was like the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. Because I was thinking of like how each one would look when they were done. And they're all great poses and different scales and her sword was anyway. And so like I picked one and then Phil drew her and sent her to me. And that just meant so much to me. And also just as a host, like when Phil reached out after and was just like, I had fun on your show and I usually hate doing these things and you made me feel comfortable. And you don't get that a lot. Not everybody usually it's just like, hey, will you check out my book? And then, okay, bye. And so that just meant a lot.
I have a secret for you, Blake.
Yeah.
I don't care about promotion. Because Christof and David are here, I can say this. They've got that shit covered. I just get to sit here and look pretty, and I just want to chat to you. To be honest, I found that picture. Of Laura. Yeah. I found it because I cleaned out like every piece of crap and art that I had that I wanted to. I went a little bit minimalist for a while and still am to a degree, but I found it, and I was like, do I send it to you? As like hey, look, I found it, but it's so old now and I can't fucking stand it. So I was like, do I set fire to it? It was like, make it some sort of, I could turn it into like a little...
If you're going to burn it, send it to me.
Well, I was listening.
Sell it.
I'll send it to you. I'll put it in. But you had Savage Rogue, was it? You were doing collections of, putting together.
I thought about it because I had oh my God, I have a Savage Rogue piece and I've thought about I thought about buying a couple, but I can't. Maybe I can't get into collecting art. You mentioned your slog. You're like a slog pile throwaway stuff. All right,
Mhm.
so I'm working Joe Jusko's art campaign. Okay,
Mhm.
and he's talking about his wife yells at him
Mm-hmm.
because the like preliminary stuff and like layout, he draws it for real.
Yeah.
And he'll like, and sometimes he'll do like on an 11 by 17, maybe he'll do like 4 different layouts on one big piece of paper.
Mhm.
He throws all that away.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
tosses it in the trash. And he was talking to me and he was like, yeah, sometimes my wife's going through the kitchen and she'll see it on top of the trash can and take it out and be like, what the hell are you doing, Joe? And he's just like, I don't need them. And I'm like, it's blowing my mind. And then I didn't know this until the other day that like Ryan Otley
Mhm.
set all his old art from Invincible on fire because he hated it and he thought he's like a better artist now. And there's like,
Mhm.
I couldn't find the video, but I found the pictures and
Mhm.
it's like he's like covers full pages, burning them in his outside fire pit, smiling. And it's just like, good God, dude, like to think about the money he could have sold that for. Like, and especially if he had all that now sitting in his basement with how popular. Anyway, it's
I can
crazy.
get behind that mentality massively. But I'm really sorry because I could have sent you every piece of artwork that I'd made since I was like 4 years old until like maybe 3 weeks ago. You could have had it all in just like this enormous box, and then you could have fucking dealt with it, you know, taking up all that goddamn space in your cupboards or whatever, sticking it all on the wall, just hating me like I gotta get this fucking shit framed, slapping it on the wall. 700 frames later, $20,000 worth of frames, and
no, that's where I'm at. Not that many frames, but I have a
wallpaper. Just turn it to wallpaper.
Oh, just put it. I have enough art. Like when I was gonna build, I still want to do the studio because we have this extra room, but I just never have fucking time. Anyway, but like I have enough art. Like that was gonna be my backdrop behind to have, but you wouldn't really be able to see it because I blur my background really anyway. So you'd like know there's art behind me, but you wouldn't really know what it was. I've got your piece. I've got some cool shit. I got a full page Santa Luco from Ninja Turtles, like issue 50. And it's got all the turtles on it and Bebop and Rocksteady. Like it's a dope fucking, it's got and then I've got a little bit, I got a couple, like a Neil Adams did a Superman Wonder Woman sketch when they were dating in New 52. I met him in Kansas City, and so I got that. I got an old Ryan Stegman Doc Ock on a Superior Spider-Man cover. Nice. And Maria Wolf did a cool remark for me. And I got some people that like sketch some insides, like Jimmy Palmiotti and David Mack did the inside of a Daredevil hardcover, but you can't like display that, like, so, so I got some stuff like that, but so I have some art, but it's just like, it's dangerous. And one of the last cons I went to when I got that when I had David and Jimmy do that book, as soon as I got into the con, cause I was pressed, so let me in like 20 minutes early or whatever. And so no one's there. Like there's a handful of like the cool people are there. Right. And all these people are next to me and there was no lines yet. And so I spent like $180 in like 4 minutes. I was like, stop it. I was like, you just got here. I was like, oh no. But yeah, so it's I do love art, and you kind of get there. If you love comics enough, like it's like eventually you're going to buy a page of a book you really liked, maybe if you got the scratch, or you meet that artist you really like and you buy a sketch or something like that. Or I always remind people crowdfunding like Zoop is really good at it. Kickstarter campaigns are good at it. You can get some great commissions, very, very competitive pricing through crowdfunding campaigns. You should always check those. So, but once you start, it's cool because you get those, you get that no one else has it, it's you. And in our industry, that exclusivity and collectability means so much. But then also, like, especially if you're there and you commission something, I got to watch Neil Adams draw. Like that was real fucking cool. And I got to talk to him for a long time because not many people were there. And I've always heard people say he was mean and grumpy, but I gave him hundreds of dollars. So maybe that's why he was nice to me, but he was very nice to me. And we had a cool conversation. Dude, he talked to me about cave paintings and shit. He was like, comics were around before there was language, man. And I've never really thought of it like that. I was like, look. So yeah, art is cool. Just be ready because it's addictive. You know, it's like
I have two pieces of art. Like, I mean, I've got a lot of artwork that I've had done like sketch, like at conventions and stuff. But I nearly threw away, as I said when I was doing this clear out, issue 1 of the Avengers. I think it was when they did a reboot, and John Romita Jr. was drawing it. And I was about to. It was a free comic book day one, I think, and I was about to toss it away, and then something just sort of made me think, oh, I'll open it up and have a look inside. Because I know I'd had a few copies of this because they were free and they'd been given away in like the Thought, like this was some Thought Bubble back in the day. They'd given them away in this bag, and I opened it up and there was a sketch from John Romita Jr. inside it that I nearly tossed away. And I had one of the weirdest conversations with him many, many years ago. This is like 2011, something like that. I went up to talk to him before the convention started, before the doors opened and everything, and we were having a chat about whatever the hell it was, but he asked me where I was from. And, you know, he's obviously American, as some people may know. But usually when you tell some people, you're English in America, they say, oh, you're from London, you're from Manchester, or whatever. But he said, oh, where are you from? I said, Cornwall. And Cornwall, if you know where it is, it's in the southwest. It's the southwest of the UK. And he just turned around and went, oh, Doc Martin. And they have a TV show that is set down in Cornwall called Doc Martin, about a rural doctor that ran for like 10 years or something. And it turned out he was this massive, rabid fan of it at the time. So I had like a really weird chat with him. So that reminded me of that. And, so I relate a lot of these sketches and commissions and stuff that I have to specific people I've talked to and times I've had things done. And the other piece of artwork that I've got that means a lot to me is I have a sketch from Adi Granov. He did me an Iron Man headshot. And this was 2008. This is the first convention I ever went to. And I got to stand and watch him doing it at the time and talk to him while he was doing it, which was fantastic. I queued for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes at the time because I think it had just opened, and that was the time when I wasn't tabling. But I managed to get like there to the convention early. So I've got that. That's another piece I got framed. But with that, I have 2 prints of his, and one of them is the first of 200, and then the other one is the second of 200 of the prints that he, of this print run, and they're like 2008 pinnacle sort of Adi Granov Iron Man 1 was coming out sort of time. And talking about doing bad things for money and stuff, like, I'm always really tempted to stick those up on eBay, but I never will. I will never part with those things because they mean so much to me. If I buy a hardcover book, maybe if I really want to, if I'm not going to read it again, I might, give it to a friend or something. But like when it comes to commissions, that's where I want to spend my money. And Christof he didn't talk about this earlier, but for people who are in the UK who might end up watching this and don't know, him and David will be at Thought Bubble this year. Christof's tabling, David isn't, and I'm going as well, but I won't be tabling. But I have been saving money for quite a while so I can go and just spend it all on commissions. I'm going to go in and I'm going to get to everybody as quickly as possible, and
that's awesome.
But not the bigger names, because usually they'd just, that would just be way out of my price range. But all the people that I've been kind of like following and in the indie scene and stuff for years and years and years, I want their artwork because these people mean a lot to me, even though they might not know it.
If you love it, like if the art speaks to you, it doesn't matter how big their name is, right? I would love if I had the opportunity, I would love a Jim Lee Batman or something, just to say I had one. But like, I definitely don't. Even if I was loaded, man, to spend 20 grand on like one of his 1 minute Batman sketches that he's not really that into. He cranks out like 100 of them at a con, and it's just like, that's not the Jim Lee sketch experience that I want either, And so like, and no shame to that. Cause when you grind your whole life and get to that point, there some art sells for millions of dollars, right? So there's no reason a comic artist can't sell sketches for 20 grand. I think I wish y'all could, and I wish there were more people to buy it. But it's just, sometimes like when you find that you read that indie book, or you walk past a booth at a show and see something cool, and they put a lot of love into that too, because sometimes they don't get asked to do commissions all the time. Yeah. Sometimes they're in positions where they need to do those commissions, right? And when a hungry artist like smells respect and gets an opportunity, it's most of those the ones that make it are smart enough to take those opportunities, and you never know who's ordering a sketch. So they put a lot of love into them. You can get some real cool shit for, like I said, like crazy prices. Where I remember By the Horns, that was with Scout, Jason Muir. Like, he's a phenomenal artist, and he's at Marvel now. He's doing Marvel shit, and he would do, like, if you bought stuff from his eShop, he would do like remarks for $18-20. Beautiful remark, like taking like ballpoint pens and, like, you know, pencil sketching it, and then a ballpoint. And I mean, like real drawing for $18. He would do these things, you know, and yeah, now he's at Marvel. I don't know if he does those $18 sketches anymore, but I got one when he was. So, but you never know. You never know who you're going to get, especially on Kickstarter. So many indie Kickstarter people have like done cool books, and then like, and then later, like the Kickstarter writer has to find a new artist because they're like, oh, I'm at Boom, or I'm doing, you know, like, so they scout for that shit. There's that's what I love about A, comics, and B, just indie comics, is like there's gnarly stuff out there. Even when you're in it, when you work in it, when you live and breathe it, if you go to all the cons and travel, like, you still miss it and stumble across these like little tiny gems every now and then, you know. And it's just like, every now and then you think you've seen everything, you think you've read every storyline, you think, you know, and you're like, you know, just like everything, sometimes
just
like
keeps coming.
Yeah. And then sometimes you hit something that just fucking like, you mentioned like camp, right? Like all the stuff Denise Camp's doing, like, didn't you bring them up earlier? Was it you or Christof?
Who?
Denise Camp?
No, it was Christof.
Damn, never mind. Like, that was another, like, I've read some of their stuff recently, and it's just like, it's just like, whoa. And it's there's power, but that's another person who's at, you know, doing Ultimate Marvel books now, not only Image, you know. So you gotta keep, it's fun to keep an eye on these people and watch people level up. One day Phil's gonna be too cool to do my show, and I dread that day.
That day will never ever come. I guarantee you that. There's a few people that I've worked with in this business. I mean, first thing is, I'm never gonna level up, like, but you know, if I were to level up, I would never abandon you like that. And I was saying to a few people that I've worked with, like anytime, you know, they ever want me, when I'm out there in my mansion somewhere, you know, with my, I don't know, massive fans at the gates trying to get in. I've got my private security ready to take me away in a helicopter to my private island. Yeah, you know, I'll still be involved with them. So no, always, I'll always be here. Yeah.
I was about to say, speaking of people too cool for my show, Luca is a phenomenal colorist who's been on a few times. Also worked with David on oh my God, Nottingham.
Yeah,
my brain stopped for a second. It is getting late, Phil, and I love talking to you. But are you? I know you said you're not big on social media. Do you have like a website or anything where you show up, or like an Instagram or a website to sell stuff or anything?
I'm awful at this. I like the drawing, but the rest of it, I'm really terrible at it. You know, nobody will hear from me for like years, and then I'll just pop up on this podcast with Requiem issue 4, and I'll be like, nothing ever changed. I might be a bit bolder, you know, a little bit more stressed,
bald, more. Then you just work harder on a different project. You did say you were recently on Kickstarter for a project. What was that?
Oh yeah, Sold. So Sold, which is SOULD. It's a play on, you know, on words. It's a 6-issue series that I'm doing with Nick Bryant, who is an indie writer in the UK. And so issue 3 is nearly finished with the inks. I say nearly finished, I'm lying. It's, I think, page 15, page 16 is done. And I'll be moving back onto that when Requiem is colored. So that will be coming out, I think, started next year, I think, something like that. And then 4, 5, and 6 probably over the year, probably depending on what my workload is like. But yeah, so that's a really cool book. I'm terrible at pitching it. It's like a fantasy cyberpunk thing where people, it's about drugs and people's souls being put into crystals that can be inhaled as a drug, and then you experience their lives.
I know you
'Cause,
shouldn't
yeah.
judge a book by a
I'm
cover.
terrible at pitching. Awful.
Uh,
I was watching your podcast, one of your live streams earlier, and you guys were talking about the art of the pitch. I think it was when you were with Fred and Adam and whoever else it was,
oh yeah.
and talking about like how like the 1 minute pitch and how you've got to be really good. I was like, oh, that'd be a really nice skill to have. And I thought, I wonder how good I am. And now I've just learned that I'm absolutely fucking abhorrent at it.
It's hard.
Terrible, just awful.
It's hard.
Yeah,
you got to
it.
practice it. But this cover looks gorgeous.
Mm.
Dude, hit me
The color is
up.
good.
Hit me up on the next time you guys go live. I'd love to have you guys on the show and talk about it.
I would love to come on, but like an hour beforehand. But you don't know that.
See, all right, we'll try and set something up. Yeah,
I am on social media, by the way. I will just say this: it's Phil the Page, PhilThePage, Phil the Page. But you know, if anybody ever comes to follow me, just DM me. Just send me a nice little message because I get so lonely.
He posts art on Instagram. I love looking at your art.
Yeah.
Phil, this was fun. It was nice to get rid of everybody and talk to the real talent.
Yeah.
behind
That's
Requiem.
Right. The people who put in all the effort, you know. I don't know how they do it. The writing and the admin for the Kickstarter and the sorting the things and the talking to the people, and it blows my mind. You know.
No,
there is an insane level of talent there that is just, I don't know. You know, people that do your job and people that do their job, they don't get enough. You know, there aren't that many people at conventions saying, oh, you know, write me a sentence and sign the sentence. You know, give me like commission me a sentence where you like my OC or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, so
Talk
you guys
to me about the
get
Kickstarter page you built. This add-on graphic was gorgeous.
Before we go, I wanted to ask you, because I said I was watching your recent live stream earlier. You mentioned, I think Adam mentioned, a graphic that you did for Prana, and it's like a Google search, and it kind of goes down. Did you do that? Yeah, that's actually a graphic that you made.
It was a template that I put the copy on, and then I put it on a. I templated our social media with like this green, and I texturize the green background, and I put stuff on it. But yeah, like it was a Google search template, and then I wrote the copy and then put that on I sort of made it. I used pieces and put it together. I guess that's what designing is.
That's exactly what it is.
So yeah, I made that. Yeah.
We demand you come up with the font yourself. The colors, create new colors, technology, make a new piece of software. But like, come on, otherwise, you know, you're just using other people's stuff.
You know what I did though the other day? We announced the comics, the magazine today, and it has like this very big, bold, like kind of border around the logo. And we put out every Friday. We do my boss's newsletter, the Prana Bullet, and so we did a different kind of post on Friday that had the color scheme of the new logo, kind of like it looked a little different. And we were like, hey, you really should sign up for the newsletter, right? Because shit's about to go down. And I needed to tinker a little bit, and so I took my tablet out and I put one of those gloves on, you know, that like covers because I'm left-handed, and I like used my stylus to kind of like draw a border around text and like clean that up and get it to look how I wanted. And I was like, God damn it. Because I keep telling people like I'm not a designer, and my boss Adam is like, Blake, you're a designer, but I'm also like, you know, but there's a lot of stuff I don't know. But now I just like I have a pretty good eye for stuff. I need to learn what that means now. Like, you know, like I need to learn like why my eyes want to do things, why my brain wants to organize things that way. And what I mean, I know enough about comics to know about like leading people with images and focal points and shit. But you know, there's I made trading cards the other day. I've never made trading cards. And it was a pain in the ass. It was super stressful. They ended up looking pretty cool, but they like asked for bleed and stuff, and I put the bleed on it. But they sent a proof back, and they were like, we had to extend the background, and I got real scared because it was like the proof they sent back looked good, but I didn't really understand what they did, and it was like my boss's money, and I didn't want to like order bad cards. And anyway, so like I had to like ask a designer, but I was like, hey, like I think this is good. but I need to know it's good, right? Like I don't want, I can't accept this proof because I think it's okay. And they kind of like walk me through it. And so that's where I'm at now, is like, I got a good eye for stuff and I can build some shit. But like, I need to know some, I need some theory, right? I need to like the sciencey shit behind it. So that's, and it sucks now, cause it's like, man, would it be cool to went to college for this instead of, I was going to be a mechanic at one time, dude. I spent 2.5 years learning how to build cars.
That's what you look like. You look like a mechanic, but like a really cool mechanic. Yeah.
But I mean, I ended up never, while I was doing that, I found out I like to write. And then I went to like a 4-year college, and well, anyway, but it's, would have been great to back then be like, let's learn some design. Cause now it's like, now we're in it. There's jobs to do. There's deadlines due. And like learning new software and even like taking online class, there's just not enough time in the day, it's like, fuck. So winging it, faking it till I make it.
But this is how you're going to get better, though. This is how everybody gets better. Everything, just pretend that maybe not pretend that you know how to do it, but like it's obviously common sense and just general advice that the more you do something, the better you get at it. But people, I think there was a time, I think something has happened over the last 10, 15 years, maybe with the rise of the internet or whatever, where people expect to be good at things immediately, as opposed to, chipping away at it bit by bit and being happy each day that they've, built themselves up a little bit. So yeah, just keep chipping away at it, and eventually you just get better and better and better and better and better. And, yeah, one day you'll be coming for my job. Not that I do any design. And when I do design, like put lettering or putting graphic design in in Requiem. I'll let you go in a minute, but I got to do like, there's a scene where there's people doing things on a camera, adult things, naughty things, maybe. But you've got to like write in camera and like these characters' names and stuff, like graphic design shit. And I can't do it. I don't know what to do. It's like, I can't draw it. It looks terrible. So I got to get the keyboard out with the lettering and I can't do it. Come do it for me. Like, please save me.
I would, maybe by 4 we'll be there. Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't be mad if you guys were like, I need some help on some design help. Yeah, anyway, I would love to be there. I did recently turn down an artist, Ali Garza, who's awesome, good people, but he hit me up and was like, hey, will you do like a back cover and make me some PDF print files? And again, I have Canva, and I told him, I was like, hey man, I don't have the software to comfortably do that for you. And I was like, hit me up next time. But like, cause he had me do like, I've made him like graphics before, but no, I haven't done like something they were going to print, which is always like way more intense. So yeah, like when that happened, that's when I was like, okay, do you really want to do this? Then you got to keep moving. And I mean, every day, that's what the one good thing about working in comics is, like, every day I got to figure out how to do something I didn't know how to do. Cause it's either, I have a theory that's how you survive in this industry, is like the people that really make it, that last, don't quit. Cause a lot of people want to quit because it doesn't do what they want. And like you said, it's a long road. A lot of people want instant gratification. I need to be good at it right now. And I need to see that goodness resulted right now. Right. But yeah, I have a theory that people that do well in this industry, on creative side, production, whatever, retail, whatever part, you get told to do something that you have no fucking idea how to do. Right. But you're like, if I do this, they're going to notice. If I do this well, it could result in an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. So you fucking
100%.
do it. And then who do they, next week when they need something done and they don't have any time to do it, who helped them out last week? You did. They come to you, they ask you something else, you figure out how to do it. Right. And I know, yeah. So like, that's also, and that's how I got a job, that's how I've got several jobs, but you got to kind of think about that too. But because a lot of people, my boss said it, cause it's some of the things we do are very stressful, and some of the production for the shows we do like hours, not even hours before the show, we like change things quickly, and it's a fast environment. And my boss told us the other day, he was like, I really do love you guys. And not everyone can work like this. And that's very true. And it's just, not everybody can deal with deadlines, but this is a weird industry, and the production, marketing, sales side is a even totally different fucking animal that I still don't totally understand. Like
I
I'm
don't
learning
have even the slightest, not one teeny tiny little percent, any idea of how it works, because it terrifies the shit out of me every time I think about it. I'll step away from that.
Dude, I hear people talk about like metadata and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? But
when you were talking about this earlier, it's like, data. Ooh, that sounds really, really no, get it away from me.
You would think like what the fuck, comic nerds and data, but yeah, no, like the data comic nerds, and it's these people like that run shops, like the POS systems that they do, like that they do transactions with, but the data, if they can figure out how to like pool and collect data from different shops that use these systems, the stuff that you can do with like marketing and to track sales and to see what's hot and to kind of follow the industry and keep, it's very impressive. But that's what everybody's trying to figure out now is like, how do we export and pool all this data together easily, easily to like charge as a service, but not easy enough for like everybody else to do it too. And it's a lot of work because it's so much data, right? And it's like, because even when like they're like shops all over the country, like hundreds, thousands of transactions a week to like go through that. So anyway, it's crazy, but that's what some of the people I work with are trying to do. And like, as I have no interest in data, I don't know what any of it fucking means, but when I listen to them talk about it, it's exciting. And it is crazy, like how helpful it could be for the industry, for shops, for libraries, for the book market. Like it echoes and ripples out in ways you wouldn't expect. So yeah, it's very, you asked me how I was earlier, and I'm still stressed a lot, but I'm making more money and I'm doing good work. I feel like I'm doing good work. I feel like I'm doing work that helps people and that isn't exclusive, that like, wouldn't get mad if certain people read their books or not, and I feel like, I'm working for good people. I'm not working for people that are scared of empathy and, I'm not, it's a different environment now. And I'm, like I met Chip Zdarsky today. I digitally met him. Right. But it was I think next year I may get to go to some cons and stuff and work booths. I think that's the next step. And I hope I'm around with this company to do that. So yeah, like I think things are cool and we're doing cool stuff. And
you should try and get over to Thought Bubble next year.
Dude, I would.
There's like 800 people tabling. I think something like that. It's fucking huge.
I haven't left the country. I'm almost 40. I haven't left America.
You're joking. Have you got a passport? Well, have you got a passport?
No. Well, no. I would have to get a passport, but I have like our new ID. So like getting a passport would be super easy. But yeah, I would have to get. Yeah, I'm like legally, and I'm not like no one would like flag me. So like I'm like I'm not a risk. I don't have warrants or anything, but no, yeah, it's something I'm not scared. I recently, on November last year, I flew to Florida for a charity thing for work. That was the first time I'd been on a plane. So like almost 40, first time I've flown. Like, so yeah, I just have a weird life. Just not a lot of traveling and a lot of road tripping in my family. Like we always like the road trips and stuff. Yeah. But not like, we weren't a go to Disneyland family and stuff. So weren't poor or nothing, but just weren't that. We didn't do that. We didn't fly and have vacations and stuff like that. So yeah.
How did you find it? Did you enjoy it?
No, my ears, it made my ears pop, which was annoying. But I fall asleep. Like I get real comfy in cars. And so like, dude, I tried to like play video games. I tried to watch a movie and I started like nodding off. Like they dimmed the lights and stuff. I was like, so yeah, it was cool. It was fun. Like it was fun looking out the window and like seeing everything get smaller and then like everything turn into a grid. And so it was different. It was cool. But yeah, so yeah, I would love to leave the country. Maybe forever. Just not come back.
Yeah. A sentiment echoed by many, I think.
Yeah, it's going around. But yeah, no, it's something because of what I do, I've heard that like I could get it. It's traveling. It's traveling, finding a place to stay and all that. That's the money. Like, but yeah. I mean, hopefully, like I said, I think. I don't know if I keep running, like if the Kickstarter work keeps coming in, like it's coming in, you know, like I wouldn't be mad, like to treat like cons as vacations, you know, and like just like go out of town and have, you know, just I may be in a place where I can finally start doing that soon. So it's exciting.
If you want to come next year, I mean, we can talk about this at some point between them, but yeah, you've always got a place to stay here in this luxury.
Oh, well,
you will. You might leave alive, but you know, I'm gonna have to see something that David got to see. You know.
Oh, David would be forever jealous. We might have to make that happen.
Phil, what's in this? What's this red blinking light in the fire alarm? Don't you worry about that, Blake. You just go to sleep now.
Yeah,
it's okay. Don't worry.
Take a nice warm shower. Here's your bed's ready.
Yeah, I'll look after you real good.
Absolutely no doubts. Oh, dude, Phil, this was fun.
Yeah. Like
before we go, anything else you want to say about you, life, or Requiem 1 through 3 that's currently live on Kickstarter?
Go and caress our Kickstarter campaign.
Yes.
Go and you know, put money into it. Give us all your money, people. Yeah, it's a good book. I'm really proud of the artwork this time around. That's not to say it wasn't the first 2 times, but I think I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident in my work. Yeah, it's good. It's good art, good story. It's worth the money. 50% off for the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, well worth a buy. I think
an aggressive early bird discount. I like to see it.
So aggressive. I'd give it away for free. They won't be happy, but if anybody wants to send me a DM, you know, keep me company during the day, I'll send you some free copies, some free PDFs or whatever when they're done. Just, you know, I just want people to read this stuff, you know. I don't want to say I'm some like bleeding heart extreme left wing, you know, socialist, but you know, I don't give a fuck about money. Who cares?
Yeah, well, someone's got to pay for those pages. You can't. You're not. You don't work for peanuts. Yeah. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you love peanuts.
they keep me chained up in this goddamn basement.
Oh,
I've been here for years now.
You're in the basement. They
yeah.
Just keep you. We'll let you out soon. Well,
I hope so, and then I can see you in person.
I hope they don't. I hope they keep you down there forever. You keep making awesome books.
Yeah,
because I like reading them. I'm sorry. I like you too, but I like reading the books.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
It's been a pleasure. It really has. It's always lovely to see you. I'm going to send you a message in a minute, and we'll talk about something, you know, more exciting. We're going to talk about something that's exactly the same as what we've already been talking about.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who watched the live stream earlier on Comic Industry Insiders and came out, like, thanks everybody for sharing and stuff today. Thanks so much. People who saw the social media posts we put out that I shared and followed, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We are really trying to do something really cool. And you know, and I am too. I like, you know, we're trying to hype indie comics and Kickstarters and give, you know, both in Blake's Buzz and what we're doing at Prana, just, you know, give people places to safely talk about comics and this thing that we all love. It's so silly. We can't separate ourselves from it if we tried. Why would we try? Anyways, long story short, love more, hate less, read all the books, especially Requiem 1 through 3. Phil said he'd give them to you for free, but fuck that. Go to Kickstarter, put down all the money, baby, because it's worth it. All the money.
All the real money.
Only real money. None of those fake pledges. None of that bullshit we talked about earlier. Talking about real deal stinky cash, like you do cocaine with, but you can't put cash on Kickstarter. So it's really your debit card, probably, or credit card. You know, that's how transactions online work. All right.
Can you split it into 3 payments, like a Klarna payment here, where you know you could split your Kickstarter payment over 3?
Can you imagine how terrible that would be? Like if in fulfillment you started getting messages like, all right, can you put like, all right, I want to buy this page from Phil, but I could put $20 on this card, $80 on this card. I mean, we'll take your money.
Start getting checks, coins in the mail. Christ, yeah. It's not a good way to go.
Bring back checks. That's why Kickstarter's on strike, because they can't use checks anymore. That's a joke. Kickstarter's on strike for great reasons. Y'all should look into that. There's great people doing great work in comics that deserve. They're on strike for a reason. They deserve. We love this platform. This platform makes a lot of us money. This platform makes a lot of our dreams come true. And this platform gets us a lot of great books to read. And so the people behind the platform, they deserve everything they want. And I've met a lot of them, and they're good people. So yeah, read up on that, check that out. They've all been, like I said, they've all been really cool and said to keep supporting Kickstarter, support the campaigns. It's not about that. It's not trying to get people away from the platform. It's trying to get them, anyway. So you can support Kickstarter employees while supporting indie comics simultaneously is the important part. But also just remember to stay informed, both, in the grand scheme of things, but also in, there's weird shit going on in comics. You should stay up to date. That's what I was trying to say. And also, if you're going to NYCC, be kind, bathe, stay clean, don't be stinky. Okay. We got to remind people. Okay. You just do it. But yeah, be nice to each other. Be safe, travel safe, have a great time. I hear there's going to be lots of cool things going. If you're going to be at Retailer Day tomorrow, track down my boss, Adam Freeman, get a copy of Comics to Magazine issue 0. It's beautiful. It's cool. And I think it's going to be an exciting thing. All right, everybody, I'm going to quit rambling because I'm hungry and I need a hot dog, and Phil needs to draw and wax his ankle because the shackles, they rub the skin, and you got to keep them moisturized.
Sore. It's
so sore. He's got the sorest ankles in indie comics, folks. Get to Kickstarter back. If there's one of the stretch goals is to get him ankle replacements. We're working hard on it. All right. So follow the campaign. Make sure support your local artist ankles. I love you. We'll be back next week. Have a